Today we'll be reacting to Mariah Carey performing Make It Happen live at Madison Square Garden. But before we start, this is a reaction video, it's a commentary video, so I'm gonna pause and provide some commentary along the way, but I'll of course link the full performance below so that you can check it out without me disturbing you. But you clicked reaction, so here we are.
This is for all of you out there tonight, reaching for a dream, don't ever give up.
Isn't it the, oh, there she is. It was just pictures.
Never listen to anybody when they try to discourage you, 'cause they do that.
They do that, yeah.
Believe me.
She would know. People have tried to discourage her whole career, talking about how she's not Whitney, talking about how her vocals are failing and all that. Like, people have been trying to discourage Mariah her whole career. And this is obviously a long time ago when she was very young, but already then she had been compared to this singer and this singer and this singer. So, and people had been like scrutinizing her over the way she dressed, over everything. So yeah, she would know.
Not more than 3 short years ago, I was offended and alone, without a penny to my name. No proper shoes upon my feet. Sometimes I couldn't even eat. I often cried myself to sleep. Still I had to keep on going.
Isn't it weird how these lyrics are kind of depressing? You know, it's about not having a good time in life, you know? But with this beat, I mean, it's impossible not to groove along to it. I just think it's fascinating just how like vibey this music is, even though the lyrics are kind of depressing, you know? Choir is so tight.
Sometimes I couldn't even eat. I often cried myself to sleep. Still I
All right,
had to keep
I'm sorry. Just a little detail with the choir there. Did you hear how some of the voices held over, like they held the last note in that phrase, and then the next phrase starts, like it overlaps, you know? So there was one part of the choir that kept it going and one part of the choir that started the next phrase. But it's so seamless, it's so smooth, and just listen, they're singing in unison, and it's so tight, you know? Because even if a choir is singing in unison, it can be very not that tight, you know, pitch-wise and also timing-wise, because that's another thing. Singing in a choir is not just about, you know, singing the pitch. It's also about having that timing. And also in a groove like this, the timing is so important, you know? So the choir is doing a great job. And we're gonna get to Mariah too, trust me, but I just want to give the choir props too.
no proper shoes upon my feet. Sometimes I couldn't even eat. I often cried myself to sleep. Still I had to keep on going, never knowing if I could take it, if I would make it through the night. I held on to my faith.
I love, like, her chest voice. It's so, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I mean it positively. It's so tight, you know? It's, how do I explain this? Like, your vocal folds, obviously they vibrate, you know? It can happen with like a lot of air on there or with not so much air on there. And when she's in that chest voice, it's like, the vibration is tight, you know what I mean? And you could say that sounds pressed. You'll have classical vocal coaches who'll say that this can be harmful, and it can be. You don't want everything else here to tighten up. That's when it's unhealthy. You just want what's going on, like, to get that, to produce that sound. You just want that to happen, like, inside your larynx, if that makes sense, not by pushing here, you know? So it can be healthy, it can be unhealthy. But it sounds so good, you know? She sounds so good. It's that Mariah tone. It's very unique to her. And the control that she displays always is just on point. Common Mariah win, you know? Vibrato there. So nice. Little growl. Did you hear when she sang way, the word way? She did it with an H at the beginning of it. And that's that cry. And that cry also helps. It helps shapes that beautiful tone in Mariah's chest voice that I really like. I also love how Mariah can just play around with effects, just a little growl here and there, you know. and also switch up to her head voice, just little hints of it here and there. It's really nice, like those little vocal flips she does. She hasn't been doing a lot of that here, but you know, I like how she does that. She has a lot of little effects, and her runs, I'm sure we'll get more into that as this song progresses, you know.
I found my way. If you believe in yourself enough and know what you want, you're gonna make it happen. Make it happen.
This is where the song is so positive.
And if you get down on your knees like that and pray to the Lord, He's gonna make it happen. Make it happen.
Choir. I love it when they do what they did with the choir here. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot about the choir arrangement, but I love it when they do like separate parts like they did here. They have some oohing going on and then different harmonies that follow her, like with the lyrics and all, and yeah, and then they melt into these big explosions of perfect like big choir harmonies, you know. I'm sorry, I used to be in a gospel, I've been in 2 gospel choirs, one more professional, and yeah, I love it. So forgive me.
And if you get down on your knees like that and pray to the Lord, He's gonna make it happen. Make it happen.
Love it.
I know life can be so tough and you feel like giving up, but you must be strong, baby. Just hold on. Never find the answers if you throw your life away.
Such ease. It's so easy for her to go up on those high notes. And this one thing is, you know, how people are really, really impressed when singers do long high notes, like sustained high notes with the vibrato coming in and everything. And that's impressive, yes. But what she does here is more difficult. Yeah, in my opinion, it's more difficult because you have to hit not just one high note, there are several. Like she sings a melody there, and also she's shaping words on there, and with words you have consonants and stuff that block that vocal that flow, that airflow for your vocal folds, that a long sustained vowel doesn't, you know. So this is more intricate, but also with vowels you can get help, you know, to sort of kick in, like the onsets can help you too. But you still have to hit all those notes, and she does it with such ease and such precision. She's incredible. Like, wow.
I used to feel the way you do, still I had to keep on going. Never knew it.
Yes.
But take it. If I would make it through the night, I held on to my faith. I struggled and I prayed. And now
Just her range in this too is incredible. Like she and did you see? I loved it when she went up to her head voice with breath on it. There, some would say falsetto. Falsetto is kind of a misinterpreted, it's a term with many definitions. I feel like, but in general, like what you can sort of classify it as is sort of the head voice with breath on it, like she did there. I normally don't call it a falsetto. I call it a head voice with breath on it, a breathy head voice. I really love how she can just switch into that and then be full on chest again and then go into those lovely mixed belts. Like they're so perfect that they're seamless, you know? When she switches from more full chest to her mix, it's seamless. You can't hear it. And also that mix, it sounds so chesty because it's so full. You know what I mean? If we split it into like classical sounding, like operatic sounding, and contemporary sounding, she doesn't go into that operatic or classical sounding space when she hits her mix or hits those higher notes. She still keeps that contemporary sound, to put it like that. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but do with it as you will.
take it. If I would make it through the night, I held on to my faith. I struggled and I prayed. And now I finally found my way.
It's so interesting to watch her jaw, and also that the mouth position. Can you see that it's like a smile? That also helps for those higher frequencies, you know, because if you shape your mouth very narrow, it's going to sound more like to exaggerate it, but it sounds more narrow or it sounds more wide. It's almost like an EQ. If you push those, like your mouth is sort of like an EQ. So your vowels and the way you shape your vowels sort of determine how much of the bass or how much of those more higher frequencies shines through. And her belting, they're so clear, like so bright, and that smiling position helps that. I love those harmonies for the choir. That's the long note and with a control run. All right, are we gonna get like full gospel mode for the final 2 minutes? I don't know, but if we're going in there, we're gonna see like maybe some call and response and her perhaps, I hope, sort of showing off the choir. I love it when singers do that, when they really show off the qualities in the choir. I've been to Kirk Franklin concert. I actually warmed up at it, not to brag, but my choir, with my choir. We warmed up for Kirk Franklin. And I love it. During his concerts, he does this thing where he sort of just lets them go off, like maybe one-on-one or just the sections. Love it. It's magic. Obviously, I'm like pre-analyzing this now. I don't know if that's going to happen, but make it happen, please. Using that H. See you up there. I love it. I love her stage presence. She's amazing. What can she do, But what was I going to say? Yeah, there's this one tone there that she's got a lot of the time when she's doing like those high belts where it sounds like it's octaved. Like there's no doubling. I don't mean like in the recordings when it's doubled, like literally with a separate track for a voice that goes an octave above. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the overtones, like the way, again, this has to do with the shaping of her vowels, but like the overtone, it creates this, it's almost like, just an octave, like she's doubling herself sometimes and on those high notes. And it's so fascinating because it sounds so full. Gorgeous smile. Yes. Oh, I heard it. Love it. But I love it how she, like, when she does runs and even just like when she does a little variation to the melody and stuff like that, like she doesn't just go for like the big steps. She's there on the half notes too. And I love that about her. I love a singer who has ears, musical ears. They can, they know music. And I don't think you have to know how to read sheet music or how to do everything, play an instrument. You don't have to do that. You can be a singer and that's also an instrument, even though it's a part of your body, it's on the inside, but it's still your instrument. So, and you can still use it just to sing a song normally, or you can do what Mariah does and prove that she's a musician. She is like a vocalist, but she's a musician. Because those runs, they show musicality. Ground. Yes. Her stamina, she's been belting for a good couple of minutes now and being all over the place in her register. And this is something I think I say this in every Mariah Carey video, but she's consistent, you know, so that's why. Yeah, she's consistently delivering, like running a marathon on stage, literally like moving and also vocally, all those runs. Yeah, but like, and she does some intricate stuff, runs or melisma, whatever you want to call it. It requires so much precision, that vocal agility, you know, to hit every single note with perfection. And she does that so easily.
Don't let go. Don't ever, ever let go. Don't let go. Don't ever, ever let go. Don't let go.
And back to that low part.
Never, never let go. Don't let go. Don't ever, ever let go. Never let go. I see you out there. Let me see you say
Love this groove though. That's another thing. Props to the band. They're so tight too. I love a tight bass player. Yeah. And I love how they switch up the grooves. There have been different grooves throughout the song. You know what I mean? Like they started out, this is not what it started out as, you know? Obviously, because we're moving into the gospel part of the song. I'm saying gospel. Obviously, gospel is when it's like faith-based song, but this has elements of that. so yeah, I think it qualifies as gospel.
never, ever let go.
Control.
If you believe, you can make it.
Perfect belts every time. Hey, hey. I love that. Did you hear that? She did a little vocal flip on it even, like more abruptly. Hey, hey. And again, like just to nail this in, what do you say? Drill it in? Like her control is just beyond this world, you know? I love her so much. Those Hege too.
Believe in yourself enough and know that you want your gonna make it happen. Make it happen.
Oh, she's so gorgeous.
And if you get down on your knees at night and pray to the Lord, He's gonna make it happen. Make it happen.
I love that little hint at the end there. Happen. There's just this little dip below, almost not noticeable. Again, her musicality, like she uses her voice like an instrument. She's if you picture like a guitar doing a guitar solo, you know, or a piano doing a piano solo, whatever instrument doing a solo, like a trumpet, sax. She's got that musicality that you need to do that, you know. She knows her scales. She knows where to go on which chord, and you don't have to know music, like you don't have to know music theory necessarily to be able to do that. You can be ear-based, like more of an ear-based singer, and I think Mariah is. I am myself, but I have done the training as well. But there are different ways to become great, and Mariah is a very ear-based singer, and her musicality shines through in anything she does, and this was an amazing performance. I enjoyed this so much. Thank you so much for recommending it. Leave a star in the comments if you're still watching, because it's like wish upon a star, make it happen. I don't know. Leave a star in the comments if you're still watching. I appreciate you watching till the end. It really helps me out. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And a very special thanks to the gorgeous, stunning, caring legends that are my Buy Me a Coffee members. Storm, Chawli, Seba, Keifth, Kaysee, Friebel, and Annette. Thank you so much for your support.
Now